No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us, and we extend a cordial welcome to you. We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on our giant screen with the new, colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading about. To add to your enjoyment, we're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Now it's showtime, folks. And you can be sure it's the best show in town. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome. It's intermission. Rise and stretch time. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for hot popcorn? Your favorite soft drinks are sparkling cold. The juicy Frank sizzling hot. There's delicious coffee, freshly brewed, and all kinds of ice cream and candy to tempt you. Showtime will be announced loud and clear to get you back to your car in time. So stretch your legs. Come to the snack bar now. It's time to stretch and fetch. See what's cooking at our refreshment counter. You'll find your favorite foods and beverages, plus many new goodies to tempt your appetite and add to your evening's pleasure. Everything's the finest quality. So treat yourself now. Nine minutes to go to showtime. Popcorn, rich with hot melted butter. All kinds of candy. Sparkling soft drinks. Steaming hot coffee. Steamed or grilled hot dogs. Crispy hot fresh French fries. Eight minutes to go to showtime.
I'm sorry, sir. This is a private mountain.
But I only wanted it.
This mountain is reserved for patrons of drive-in theaters.
But
it's a supply depot for all sorts of good things, which people can get at the snack bar, like soft drinks, hot dogs, good hot coffee, candy bars of all kinds, delicious popcorn, and refreshing ice cream treats.
But I am a patron of this drive-in.
Well, why didn't you say so? Be our guest.
7 minutes to go to showtime. Hot popcorn, just pop. Fresh roasted peanuts. How about a pizza? None better anywhere. Sizzling hamburgers grilled to your taste. We've a large assortment of freshly made sandwiches. Six minutes to go to showtime.
Yes, Yes, sir. May I help you?
I'd like 2 of those, please.
Hot dogs? Yes, sir.
And 3 of those. And 1 of those. And 5 bars of these. And a cup of that nice hot liquid.
Coffee. Coming right up.
Oh, and 2 bags of those peculiar white coffee material.
You mean our crunchy popcorn? Shall I wrap that for you, sir?
Oh, that's all right. My saucer's just outside.
They come from miles to enjoy our intermission.
5 minutes to go.
Hello there. It's a demonstration of my new invention, the Goodies Machine. Special for patrons of this drive-in, the machine turns out delicious hot doggies one after the other. And thirst-quenching sodas also. Gives popcorn of the most tasty kind, plain unbuttered. Candy too, crunchy and dandy. Steaming hot coffee and ice cream too. These goodies are at a snack bar just waiting for you.
Four minutes to go to showtime.
As everyone knows, rainbows usually have a treasure at the end. Let's follow this one and see if we can find the pot of gold.
Oh, then I suppose you've come to claim me treasure.
Well, we'd like to see the gold first.
Ethan, there's better than gold in here, me lad. No, just look here, no.
Candy, refreshing soft drinks, popcorn, ice cream, piping hot coffee, delicious hot dogs. Well, that's some treasure, but anyone can buy luscious treats like these at the snack bar of their drive-in theater.
You don't tell me. Do you suppose you could get me a job as a snack bar attendant?
'The crowds are thinning out at the snack bar, folks, and there are still 3 minutes till showtime. You can easily make it for something that'll just hit the spot. How about it? Don't waste a second of refreshment time. You'll find such an appetizing assortment of refreshments at the snack bar, you won't be able to decide what to ask for first. All of your snack bar favorites are there, including fresh peanuts, hot popcorn, and candy of all kinds. And believe us, you've never eaten better hot dogs, crisper French fries, or more delicious buttered popcorn. Two minutes to go to the snack bar for a quick refresher before showtime. No crowds to buck, just go get it. You'll be sorry you missed your chance to enjoy some of the many tempting goodies waiting for you. Stretch your legs now while the stretching's good. There's still time to get a mouth-watering hot dog, a sparkling ice-cold soda, assorted flavors of ice cream, all kinds of candy, the most delicious steaming hot coffee you ever drank, and freshly popped popcorn piping hot. Make a beeline for the snack bar right now to quench your thirst. One minute left to top off the evening with a treat from our snack bar. Still time if you hurry. Last call for refreshments, folks. Go right this second to get something good to eat and drink to enjoy now or during the rest of the show. The finest quality ingredients are in the fixings of the delicious foods you'll find waiting to tempt your appetite at the snack bar. Extra special good hamburgers, wonderful donuts, ice cold thirst quenching drinks. Pizza generously sliced, steaming hot fresh coffee, ice cream in many flavors. It's showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
It is exactly 2:35, and welcome to the show. Now, obviously, our opener was intentional and unintentional at the same time. Intentional because I want to start off this web show by doing the 10-minute drive-in intermission video every time, and also was uninterventional because it was also another interventional because I was still having my sandwich, so I didn't want to eat in front of you guys, so I was doing the review. So I wanted to do a nice thing by letting you watch before I started talking. So we're going to look at two films here. I'm going to review both of them. I'm going to review them by year order, not by specifics, not by what I watched first, but by year. Now, the first movie I'm going to review for you guys is a 1945 film starring Judy Garland and Robert Walker. Now, these two have been in a movie before together, and it was called As the Clouds Roll By, and Robert Walker played Jerome Kern, and Judy Garland played one of the showgirls of Jerome Kern's shows. So, in this movie, The Clock, that came out in 1945, it was directed by Vincent Minnelli and Fred Zimmerman, and it was written by Robert Nathan, Joseph Schrank, and two other men. So, I'll be sure to give them credit. And it stars Judy Garland, Robert Walker, James Gleason, Keenan Wayne, Marshall Thompson, Lucille Gleason, Ruth Brady, and a cast of more. What did I think about this movie as Judy Garland's first adult role? I thought it was amazing. She was waiting ever since she became of the age of 20 to be an adult in movies, and she always played the teenager. And Vincent Minnelli, who became Judy Garland's husband in 1945, let her play an adult role in The Clock. And this movie's premise is the setup of Miracle in the Rain. Obviously, it's not the same story, but the premise and the idea, the backstory, it's pretty much the same. If you compare the two backstories, they both take place in New York. It's both single women meeting men in the military who are on a two-day trip in New York. So both movies take place in New York, and both movies have the same premise of single women meeting men in the military. That's about where the similarities end. Robert Walker's performance in here is actually quite amazing. Some of his movies aren't that great, to be honest. but this movie was good. Judy Garland, like I said, was amazing in this movie. I do recommend this movie if you're not only a Judy Garland fan, but if you love classic movies, or if you want to watch a movie that you never seen, this is one that you'll definitely enjoy, much like our last one that I'm gonna review for you. But I'll say this is a very lighthearted drama and romance movie. Anybody could enjoy it. However, the next movie I'm going to review, not everybody will enjoy it. Let me give you a notice, okay? The next movie I'm going to review is an art piece. An art piece. It's not like the clock. It's an art piece. Now, let me explain what an art piece film is before I review the next film. An art piece film is normally based on a play with a minimal amount of characters. Now, The Clock was a complete fictional movie. That was not a play at all. However, the next movie I'm going to review, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, was a play on Broadway and a book, and it has a minimal of 4 characters throughout the whole movie. So that is an art piece, and you have to pay close attention when you watch this movie. I'll tell you why. This came out in 1966. It's a rated R movie. Anybody could watch it, really, but for the time, kids weren't allowed to see it. It's a drama and romance film. It's a very serious drama and romance film. It stars Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton, George Segal, and Sandy Dennis. Now, Richard Burton plays George, and Elizabeth Taylor plays Martha, and George Segal plays Nick, and Sandy Dennis plays Honey. Keep in mind the characters they play if you watch this movie, and follow how the characters act towards each other. If you're like me, who likes to watch movies like this and figure out what the big twist of the movie is before it even gets to the twist, you'll be able to find out how the characters are set up and why it's a brilliant art piece film. So with that being said, I'm not going to give away what happens in this movie. Not at all. It's an amazing film. From start to finish, it kept me glued to the screen, and I guarantee that if you like movies like this, it'll keep your eyes glued to the screen as well. Elizabeth Taylor won the Oscar for this movie, and rightfully so. Her performance in this movie is incredible. That's all I'll say. But this movie, if Alfred Hitchcock, I'm surprised Alfred Hitchcock didn't make it. But this movie was directed by Mike Nichols, and this was his first movie. I mean, this was some cast that he had to work with. But I have to say, for Mike Nichols to direct this movie, and this was his first one, to have Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton in it, I mean, that had to be a dream back then. I mean, they were 2 of the biggest stars in Hollywood during the time. And I'll just say, if you know anything about the marriage of Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor, you'll see how ironic their marriage turned out to be. If you see this movie and you know how their marriage turned out, it's very ironic. But the thing is, it is a very good film from beginning to end. Very fascinating. 2 thumbs up. This movie is not for everyone. This is an intellectual art piece movie. You have to follow along to everything that happens, or else you'll be confused as fuck when the movie's over. It's equivalent to The Sixth Sense in a lot of ways. Yeah. If you've seen The Sixth Sense, the ending, and people didn't really follow along. They had to watch the movie over and over again until they got the point. But if people that seen The Sixth Sense when it came out years ago followed the movie the whole way through, they knew what the ending was going to be. They just didn't tell anybody. That's exactly how this movie is in a lot of ways. If you were smart enough to follow along with the movie, you know how the movie and the characters are written. If you shut your brain off when you watch movies, you are not going to understand how this movie is going to play out or how it's going to end. You'll have to watch it over and over until you get it. So follow along from beginning to end of this movie, because you have to, in order to understand the twist and have that estimated guess how the movie's going to end. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this movie review show. Oh, it's 2:45. That being said, I hope you had a great time at the movies.